Hello, today I'm sharing my top drawer makeup products with you. These are the makeup products and tools that I use on a daily basis to do an everyday makeup look or to do my makeup quickly, that I keep handy within arm's reach so that I don't have to do any thinking when I'm doing my makeup. Grace from the YouTube channel Everyday Edit is doing this video with me as a collab. Neither one of us had done this video before, and we thought it would be a lot of fun and maybe provide a little bit of value to you as well. Her channel is one of my favorites here on YouTube. I remember the first time I ever watched one of her videos. I loved her calm and sweet demeanor. She is so beautiful both outside and on the inside. She just radiates kindness and beauty. She focuses on luxury and high-end makeup, and I just love watching her get ready with me's and her tutorials. I get a lot out of her videos, and I just find them so calming and enjoyable to watch. And I always get excited when I see her new videos pop up in my subscription feed, and she just hit 10,000 subscribers, which is a huge milestone. So I'm so excited for her, and I think that you will love her channel if you're not following her already. So be sure after you finish this video to go check out her video and see what she uses on a daily basis. I know she's got some great products in there. Tell her I said hello and subscribe to her channel if you're not already. Welcome back. Welcome if you're new here, and I'm so happy that you stopped by. If you're visiting from Grace's channel, I do hope that you consider subscribing before the end of this video and becoming part of the family. All right, let's go ahead and get into all of these products that I use on a regular basis. So I don't have a regular beauty YouTuber set up. I work out of an antique vanity. I actually use a 4-drawer acrylic storage unit. For most items, I have some palettes that are off to the side, and I keep my brushes on top of the acrylic unit. And I'll go through what the staple products are that never leave and what gets rotated as we go through. I'm going to start with the bulky bottom drawer. This is the drawer that has various types of powders, bronzers, blushes, and highlighters in it, both cream and powders. And I will have all of these products linked in the description box down below. You can get to the drop-down description box. If you're on mobile, just hit the title below the video. If you're on desktop, you'll see the title below the video as well as the little summary paragraph with the words "show more," and that's where you click to get the drop down. You'll see all the products and everything I'm wearing in my description box, as well as my foundation and concealer matches, which you might be curious about. So I try to put that in every video too. So the 2 setting powders that I keep in here pretty much live in here all the time. I have Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish setting powder, and I have Nakia Joy Velvet finishing powder. I've talked about these a ton on my channel, and when I need to get ready quickly and want no-fail products that are quick and easy, these just work for me. Now, the one I use the most to set my face is the Nakia Joy. It works beautifully for all skin types. It works both for my dry textured under eyes as well as my oily combination skin on my face. It sets my makeup beautifully. It completely blurs my pores. As far as texture goes, it just feels velvety smooth, but it feels light as air. I can't feel it. It has this lovely scent, but it's not an artificial fragrance. She has good ingredients in here. It controls my shine for a long time, and it just sets my makeup beautifully. Now, the Charlotte Tilbury I have in the shade 1 Fair because it appears translucent on my medium light skin. It is beautiful on the under eye area, especially if you have dryness or texture. It is airbrushing, it's diffusing, it's beautiful on all skin types. Now, I did throw in here very recently the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder for the under eye area. I just hadn't used this in a long time. I've been neglecting it, and I kind of forgot how good it was. So I put it in here just to remind myself to use it sometimes. I've been enjoying it. A lot of you will know my finishing powder of choice. It pretty much stays MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. I have the shade Medium Plus, and I hit pan forever ago, and it just keeps going strong. I still have this outer rim here that just keeps going. I just dust this on after my makeup is done, and it diffuses everything and just makes it look more airbrushed and put together. I have a video on setting powder versus finishing powder. I have all kinds of relevant videos to various products in this video, so I will link those for you as well in the description box because I've talked about a lot of these products on my channel. Now, the 2 powder foundations that I have rotate. Right now I have the Wander Beauty Wanderlust powder foundation, and sometimes I like to use a mineral foundation because it just looks like bare skin, but it gives coverage. And the one that I have in here is the Amazonian Clay Full Coverage Airbrush Foundation. So I just keep these in here for days when I want to get ready really quickly. I typically reach for a powder foundation. I'll talk about the powder products first on the right side of this drawer. I have two bronzers. Now I do have another bronzer off to the side with the palettes because it won't fit in here. That one is a staple. These other ones do get rotated. I have the remnants of the Becca Capri Coast that I'm just trying to use up. This is a beautiful bronzer. It's just a great sun-kissed look. So this is the new Gucci bronzer. This packaging is gorgeous. This is my favorite color, and this found its way into this drawer very, very quickly. This tone is beautiful. The texture is beautiful. It is deserving of all of the praise it's been getting. So this is living in this drawer right now because I've just been enjoying using it a lot. Now this highlighter does live in here because it is my go-to no-fail, natural looking beautiful highlighter. I'll throw some others in here sometimes, but this one stays, and it's the only powder highlighter I have in here right now. This is the Laura Mercier Matte Radiance Baked Powder in the shade 01. It is what I have on today. I'm not sure how my lighting is, if you can see it or not. This just makes you glow. It doesn't make you sparkly or shiny. It's beautiful. It's also the perfect champagne shade in my opinion. I have two powder blushes in here right now. I'm rotating one, and one is a permanent staple, and that is the Tom Ford blush in the shade Inhibition. I've talked about this before. This is my holy grail blush. It lasts so long and I get so much wear out of it that it's so worth it to me. It is just such a beautiful, flattering shade. It's just a neutral that goes with everything and any occasion. It just lives in this drawer. The rotating blush that I have in here right now is by Revlon, and it is in the shade Apricot. It kind of looks like the Tom Ford upon first glance, but it is pinker and slightly deeper. I just like having that option right now. It could change in a week, but this is what it is right now. It's really nice, and the texture is really good too. The cream bronzer that I have in here, I keep it in here because it's so easy to apply and it's really flattering. This is the Tarte Breezy bronzer. I think that's what it's called. Seychelles is the shade I have, and it's just really flattering to my skin tone, and it's super easy to apply and it lasts a long time on the skin. Now I'll go ahead and share with you the bronzer that I have off to the side over here with my palettes. A lot of you are going to know what I'm going to say, but it is the Marc Jacobs Omega bronzer in the shade Tantastic. This is a great neutral everyday bronzer. It's matte. There's no sheen to it like the other two. Sometimes I want matte, sometimes I want sheen, but I love that the pan is so big because it makes this super easy and super quick to apply. I have one cream highlight in here, and that is the Milk Makeup Lit Stick. Very, very natural looking. To me, this is kind of the stick version of the Laura Mercier 01. It's not glittery, it's not shimmery or unflattering. The shade is great. Love it. And I have two cream liquid blushes that I rotate for different reasons. The first is Daniel Sandler liquid blush in the shade Caress. Kind of the liquid version, in my opinion, to Tom Ford Inhibition. It's a very flattering shade for my skin tone, and it goes with anything, and it's super quick and easy to apply. But if I ever have a day where I just want that highlight blush look and I need to get it all in one because I'm rushed for time, or I just, want a really beautiful glowy look, I reach for the Charlotte Tilbury in Pinkgasm because I can get that glowy cheek look in one shot without having to apply a blush and a highlight. There are less products in this drawer, so this one is going to go much faster. We are now in the drawer with foundations and primers in it. I keep 3 foundations in here on a regular basis. 2 are staples, 1 I'll rotate just to kind of get a different finish. The 2 staples are the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Foundation and the Dior Backstage Foundation. I bet you didn't know that was coming. These both appear very skin-like. This one is more sheer and stays matte very, very long. This one gives me different finishes based on the primer I use and gives great coverage, but stays very, very thin and skin looking, and they apply very, very quickly. So I like having them both in here. The foundation I'm rotating right now is the Revlon Candid. It gives me a natural finish that is bordering on radiant, but it doesn't make me greasy as the day goes on, which I really enjoy, and I just like that kind of finish for this time of year. These two primers really don't leave this drawer. Hourglass Veil, I mean, I've talked about this a lot. It's my holy grail. I'm not gonna beat that horse anymore. I just did an Hourglass video where I rave about this. Also, the Shiseido Waso primer. I can use a teeny tiny amount of this, mostly in my T-zone. I can also use it all over my face, but this minimizes almost to where they're invisible my pores and keeps me shine free. I don't like to use this with really mattifying foundations because it can be a little too much. I like this with powder foundation. And on days when I'm not wearing foundation and just going with powder, that's the primer I like to use. I do have two other primers in here for reasons. The Touch in Sol No Problem Primer, I'm about 2/3 of the way done, and you know, it's a goal. I'm just trying to finish it. I do have another one in backup, and I just really enjoy this primer, so I want to use it. For a different finish this time of year, I love the Too Faced Hangover Primer. When I use this, it feels very cooling and hydrating. It has a really nice scent to it. It's got coconut water, probiotics, and skin revivers, and it's silicone free. And I like this when I want a more natural finish to my makeup, a less mattified finish, and it just feels really good. The Hourglass Veil Primer lives in here. This is perfect. I always talk about how I need to top my eyeshadow primer with a powder so that it won't crease on me, even if I just apply a tiny little bit, but I don't have to do that with this. So I can save a step when I'm getting ready and when I use this, and I really just like this. Moving up a drawer to concealers, lashes, and brows. I have a few tools in here and a couple of small palettes. We'll get into that. I use an under eye corrector almost all the time underneath my concealer because of the discoloration from my circles. It just helps brighten things and conceal even better. I rotate my correctors though, for the most part. I do typically keep one of these in the drawer, not usually both at the same time, but right now they're both in here. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Under Eye Corrector. This is the Tarte CC Under Eye Corrector. I really like both of these a lot. They're creamy and they correct very, very well. I'm hoping that you can see that the Tarte is a little bit lighter and has a little bit less of a peachy tone than the Charlotte Tilbury. I have the Tarte in light medium and the Charlotte Tilbury in the shade 2 medium. I think you can see that difference a little bit better now that I have them beside me maybe. Sometimes I need to get out the door really quickly and I'll just curl my lashes, do my brows, and just apply the Tarte corrector. Can't really do that with the Charlotte Tilbury because it's got such a peachy tone to it, but it really does correct well, so I like having both. The face concealer that I use all the time, it never ever leaves the drawer, is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the shade Canal. This has a drier consistency, so it works really well at sticking to and adhering to the face, but it blends out really nicely. It's just easy to use. The Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. This lives in this drawer and it never leaves. I can use my fingers to blend it out and it's super quick, but it looks very, very natural. So I can just use this for those days when I need to get ready quickly, I need to get out the door, a no makeup look day, and it's just perfect. The other ones rotate, but I usually keep a fuller coverage concealer in here and then kind of a medium yet natural looking coverage concealer. I mean, they're all natural looking because I really don't like heavy looking coverage, but right now the fuller coverage concealer that I have in here is the Pat McGrath. Love it. And the medium full coverage yet natural looking concealer is the Clinique Even Better All Over Concealer and Eraser. I couldn't get the full name. It's got this little applicator on the top that I really like applying it with. So these are just the two of choice right now, and they will rotate. Also on the left side, I have a Stands Out Beauty Sponge. I love this because you can use it dry. It's this microfiber texture, which you would think wouldn't do a great job, but it's super soft and it's got really, really fine pores. It just works beautifully at applying makeup. And sometimes I'm in too much of a hurry or I'm lazy and don't want to take the time to go into the bathroom and wet a sponge. And this one just does the job beautifully. I keep the Stands Out sponge in there because it fits nicely in the corner of that drawer, but you may have noticed in the beginning that I had this little egg holder with a sponge in it that sits on top. I use this to dry my sponges that are wet and just to store them. And right now I just have a Nikia Joy sponge in here. Love her sponges too. And that's just where my daily sponge that I get wet lives and dries, so you know it doesn't get all moldy and nasty. The one mascara that I never rotate is the MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash. This is my lower lash mascara. It's just got a nice slim wand that coats every lash really nicely. It doesn't flake or smudge during the day. It's a beautiful lower lash mascara. I typically keep 2 or 3 other mascaras in here that I'm rotating or testing out. One of them is usually waterproof because that's what I usually need to put on as a first light layer to hold my curl, but I don't have a waterproof in here right now because the 2 that I'm testing out or that I've just kind of discovered hold my curl without being waterproof. The first is the Hourglass Unlocked Mascara and the second is the Bare Minerals Strength and Length. I've been loving both of these and just using these on a daily basis. I think I get a little bit more volume and length from the Unlocked mascara. I just talked about this one in my October monthly favorites, so check that out if you haven't. I really love this for just a daily mascara, not nighttime. And it's also got a lash serum built into it. So that's another reason why I've just been enjoying using it. I keep 2 brow pencils in here for kind of different reasons. The first is the Hourglass Arch Brow Micro Sculpting Pencil. I've also talked about this a ton on my channel. This is my holy grail brow pencil. The shade Ash is perfect for my kind of, you know, not brunette, but not blonde brows. It's also got a micro size tip that is shaped like a dash. And so it enables me to just create really fine hair-like strokes quickly. But I also like to keep the NYX Precision Brow in the shade Ash Brown. Again, another cool tone. And it's shaped the same, but it's bigger and fatter. It still lets me create hair-like strokes, but not in quite as much of a precise way. But this lets me do my brows quicker. So it just kind of depends on what I'm doing as to which one I use. Now, another brow product that I keep over here to the side with my palettes is the Browsings Pro Palette. I don't really hear anybody talk about this, and I don't know what I did before I had this. Now, I don't really use the waxes, the pomade type products over here. I use the powders, and I like that they have different gradients. I have the medium deep palette and I thought it was going to be too dark, but it's really not. Sometimes if I have a very sparse area in my brows that just I don't get it quite right, I'll go in and create a finer hair with the darker shade. And sometimes I'll just use this for my brows and it looks really natural. It's really quick to use as well, quicker than a pencil. And I found that now that my hair's darker, sometimes when I have my hair back, you can see my scalp more. And so sometimes I'll take a stiff eyeshadow brush and I'll dip it in a couple of these shades and get a custom color and just pat it along the area where you can see my scalp. So it's kind of like a scalp root powder. I reach for it all the time. It stays on, it's natural looking, it's easy to apply. I have used the wax before, I just don't regularly use it. I keep a little ColourPop single in here. I'll put the shade down below. A lot of times I'll use a stick or cream shadow, which is what I did today, and I need a quick brow bone highlight. This is what I reach for. A lot of my palettes don't have that in there, so this is it. As for tools, I keep 3 in this drawer. I keep a Benefit brow spoolie that has an angled brush on the end for using the Browsings Pro Palette for combing out my brows. I also use the spoolie when I have mascara mishaps. I wait for the mascara to dry and scrape it off with the spoolie. This is a tool that's used every day. My Shiseido lash curler lives in this drawer, and my Tweezerman lash comb is used pretty much every day because I have just naturally clumpy lashes, and this is what I use to comb through them after I do my mascara. This top drawer, this little skinny drawer, has a mixture of products that live in this drawer and some that constantly rotate and that I just want to keep handy if I need to reach for them. So I'll cover that as I go. I've talked a lot about my love for Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner in the shade Demolition. This does live in here because it goes with literally any eyeliner look. It's a nice, cool, deep, dark grade brown. Now I also keep the Laura Mercier Cocoa Caviar Stick. I line with this, but I also use this as an outer corner shade to deepen up my eyeshadow look. It's just really quick to smudge out. So this lives in this drawer. There are two nude sticks, eye sticks, that live in this drawer. The first is Terra, which I don't think I've talked about in this channel. I did an entire video on one and done eyeshadows, but this did not fall into that category because I will use this as a transition shade or a crease shade. Sometimes I use bronzer for that. It's super easy to put there and buff out with a brush. The other is Nudity, which I did talk about in that video. It's just a perfect nude, cool toned pinky champagne color. And it's not what I have on today, but you can see it in that video. Now, right now, I have two Giorgio Armani eye tints in here. The first is Cold Copper. I mean, this is just an old faithful here on my channel. I've been talking about it forever. It is what I have on my eyes today, and it does live in this drawer because it goes with everything. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. It's super quick and easy to apply as a one and done and blend out. That's typically what I do on a normal day. It's usually Nudity or Cold Copper or something else. Right now, that something else is Armani Eye Tint in Rose Gold. This is just one of those products that rotates depending on my mood. And that's also a product you can see in that video, which will be linked down below. I typically keep two lip liners in here. Lately, they've both been from Pat McGrath because it's my holy grail lip liner. I keep a neutral shade and I keep a pinker shade. The neutral brown is Done Undone and the neutral pink is Buff. I just love the formula. It glides on easily and kind of fills in the lip line so it's flattering and it lasts forever on the lips. The other product that lives in this drawer for lips is one of the shades of City Lips Lip Plumping Gloss. This is what I pre-treat my lips with. So I'll apply a layer of this, I'll get ready, and then by the time I'm ready to put on my lip liner or my lipstick or whatever I'm putting on my lips that day, things just look better than they did before because of this. Now, the other lip products in this drawer rotate because I'll apply them, but then they get thrown in a purse usually. And I try to keep one of my Chanel lip duos that is, you know, super moisturizing, but budge proof, so it lasts while I'm wearing a mask or something. This is Tender Beige. That's what's in here right now. So I'll typically keep a pinky brown, a neutral shade, and then like a deeper flattering shade, just in case I need to apply something quickly and I don't want to hunt through my entire drawer. Now we're moving out of the tower, and you may have seen in the beginning on top, I had two Charlotte Tilbury products. My new favorite setting spray that does a couple things in one. It fuses my makeup together and makes it look just very seamless and perfect the way a facial mist would, and it also makes it bulletproof but without changing the finish of my makeup. And I do keep the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless filter. Sometimes I just really like to dab this on underneath foundation strategically, and sometimes I like to use it over. I just like to have this handy so it sits out on top. I don't want to have to dig through my regular makeup brush stash if I just need a specific brush that is a no-fail brush. So I keep these handy. I also have my Tweezerman tweezers, a pair of scissors, a little Sephora mini razor in case I have some peach fuzz I need to get rid of. I will list the makeup brushes that I find to be the handiest to keep right here down below. I'm not going to go through every single one of those because that's just going to take forever. A lot of these I did already talk about in my makeup brushes video as well. Now, I'm a big multitasker. I like to be able to knock out several things at once. So in my palette stash, I keep a face palette that I can use on my face and on my eyes. If you've been following me, some of you are going to know this Smashbox Cali Contour palette is something that I reach for frequently because I can do my entire face and eyes with this palette and look totally put together. The formulation of all of these is stunning. This highlight is one of the most beautiful highlights I've ever used, formulation-wise, shade-wise. I'm trying to find a dupe. I've been asked about it. I just haven't yet. I really wish they would make a single of it. This blush is so flattering on so many skin tones. I love this and find it indispensable. I will rotate the Hourglass Ambient Lighting palettes. This one was from last year, and I have the new mini structure here too. I rotate them out, but I do like to have them because sometimes I really like using the Hourglass formula some days. There are several palettes that live here on my vanity because they are just no-fail palettes for put together looks or one and done looks, and they're just beautiful and easy to use, and quick if I need them to be quick. The two cool tone palettes that I like having here with me are the Stone Cold Fox palette from ColourPop and the Natasha Denona Glam palette, which is actually more neutral cool. On the more neutral or warm side, the ColourPop Bare Necessities lives here, and the Persona Identity palette. Those are the 4 eyeshadow palettes that live out on my vanity because, you know, they're a little bit larger. And I just keep 2 inside the unit because they're just, you know, quick and easy to reach for and smaller, so I have to do less thinking. I have the e.l.f. Cream and Sugar palette and the Super Nudes eye palette from Charlotte Tilbury. They just all let me not think much when I need to do a makeup look, and that's what this whole thing is about, is having options, but yet not having to think or hunt much when I'm doing my makeup. If you haven't seen my Holy Grail makeup products video, I'll have it linked here for you because there are a lot of great products in there that are not in this video as well. And let me know if you want to see a makeup storage, makeup organization video. I haven't done one, and I know my setup is quite a bit different than a lot of beauty YouTubers out there. So let me know that in the comments down below. Be sure and check out Grace's video over on her YouTube channel, Everyday Edit, if you haven't yet. Tell her I said hello and subscribe to her channel if you're not already. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button and become part of the family. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.